Good evening, everybody. We are back from our little mini honeymoon to the wild and luxurious city of Gainesville, Florida. Saw lots of gators. They were everywhere. So, we are back. Ron has been working very hard on the car. Let me show you what we got here. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see. So we had some holes right in here and in here. This whole piece here, the red you see, was pretty well gone. And that's where, most of you guys know this, that's where the hood seal goes, the rubber hood seal. This was another section that was gone that he's put in. So that's huge. We set the hood on here, everything fits good. I do think one of the things I'm going to go after here this week is to actually buy the hood seal to make sure that everything fits properly, doesn't sit up too high, so on and so forth. He also went ahead and got the paint off of here, which is the scene of the crime on the finger. Happened right there. So Ron is good. He didn't get hurt. Imagine that. So what we've got is we had some Swiss cheese down here. So this is where the gas tank sits. Okay. Your brake fluid reservoir sits right here, which is why you've got some holes. There's just not a lot really going on here, but that is what goes there. Dad's been going through here, making patches, putting in patches, reinforcing. I mean, this is really going to be a pretty strong car, honestly, when it's all said and done. So he's been working on that really hard. This stuff is, ground down, pretty much ready for all metal, maybe one more grind. We are holding off on putting this piece in just until we get all this patched in, because if you see me here, boom, I can actually get all the way in here and get to this. It's just so much easier with this panel not on here. So it's the only reason that's not on. We do have, our patches under here. That's happened. I have been working on fenders. So this is one of my front fenders. This is the passenger side. I'm going to do that one tomorrow. But I'll show you what we got here if I can get into the truck. Okay. Here's what we got. So that is the driver's side fender up there. Ooh, right there. This is the hood. I was gonna take these off, but they're stripped out and I gotta do something to get them off, and I didn't really feel like doing it. So hood is sanded down. Front fender, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, they're a little rough. They need some work, but what doesn't, right? So we're gonna be working on these. I thought this turned out pretty good. I actually set the fender on earlier. It looked pretty good. So that's what we got going on over here. Not a lot happening to the frame other than being, just drop dead gorgeous and having amazing wheels and looking pretty. It's pretty much just rolling in and out of the garage, and we're just using the e-brake, which works, which is awesome. Other than that, really this week, my wife's, it's kind of nice to say that my wife is working 6 days this week and in a row, which means I'm working 6 days this week in a row out here on this thing. And our goal is to get back here. This is our goal, to get to where we're installing these panels, replacing these floor section here. Give you a kind of a glance at what we got going on here. So a little more welding. Got some all metal to spread here in the next couple days. But for the most part, we're looking pretty good. We did go make a little Rural King run this morning and Harbor Freight, but they're next door to each other. I bought this Bauer light, which I thought was just battery operated off of the same as our Impact, but it runs off electric too, which is a cool surprise. Got a couple more face masks, face shields, a couple pairs of welding gloves, just to keep us going. Ron's welding gloves had ripped and I didn't want him getting hurt. And after doing this, there ain't no way in hell that I'm not going to wear gloves. So we're rocking, guys. Thinking about a name change for the channel. Right now we're the Road Less Traveled, which I started when we were on the road and camping, basically. My wife was doing travel X-ray CT, and I was just kind of documenting the places we were and we're going and so on and so forth. But now that we're doing this pretty much full time here, building cars, you know, we might not be the fastest in the world, but we're not bad. If you took this to a shop, I mean, this one was hard. There was a lot here, but we are right at about 3.5 months into this project. And to be completely honest, I think in the next 2 weeks we will have most, if not all, of the rust repair completed and be in the bodywork phase. That's where I think we're going to be in the next 2 to 3 weeks. You know, so that's what we got. But getting back to the channel, I'm thinking about, you know, we do street rods, customs, Volkswagens now. This is our first Volkswagen we've ever done. You know, I'm thinking about something simple, you know, maybe like Brown's Rod and Custom, maybe. Brown's Rod Shop. I'm thinking more like Brown's Rod and Custom. Getting a logo made up, you know, and I'd like to get with somebody that can take pictures that I have of a couple of our older cars and then a couple of the new cars, the 40, the Chrysler, so on, the thing, and kind of combine them all into one picture, right? Since we don't actually have the cars, it would have to be a bunch of pictures kind of morphed into one picture. And I know today's world, plenty of people know how to do that. I just don't. So I was thinking about doing something like that for a logo and making you see where it says Welcome Street Riders right here, this big flag banner we got. I was thinking about taking that down and getting a banner made that said Brown's Rod Shop or Brown's Rod and Custom, and kind of hanging it and, you know, doing kind of something like that. I bought a set of coveralls today, and first thing I thought about it was, man, I wish it had my name on it in a little patch or something, you know, that'd be kind of cool. But I don't know if I'm gonna go as crazy as doing t-shirts and hats and shit like that, but this will, I don't know if the YouTube channel will take off, but the business, more or less, of buying, building, restoring, and selling cars, classic cars, I think is gonna take off. You know, we started with what we have because that's what we had. I mean, to be honest with you, I've got way too many cars laying around here, to be honest. But I need some of them to go away. But you know, we get this one done, get the thing done, get it sold, and you know, that's gonna be it's gonna be a really nice thing, and it's gonna be probably on the more expensive side of things. In all respects, when it's all said and done, if it turns out the way I'm thinking, it'll be one of the nicer ones out there, you know, from a restoration standpoint, from a, you know, mechanically, bodywork wise, the whole thing, paint job, it should turn out pretty slick. We are doing a custom interior on it, and I understand it's a thing and pretty much just has seats and a dash, but we got a set of seats from a guy, Louis. He has a 35 Ford sedan. They were in his sedan, and they're kind of a low back with a headrest. That makes sense. But anyway, he took them out of his car and put a bench in, and I'm looking at him and I thought, you know, I'm gonna do something different. So my wife sews and does all the quilts and does all that kind of thing, and wants to try to make some, do the seat covers. So we purchased a couple yards, maybe more, I don't know how much she ordered actually, but material that is kind of a plaid houndstooth, okay? And it's got kind of a red, black, kind of a creamy white pattern. It's really neat. And I think we're gonna do that in the middle. And then on the sides, we'll do probably black vinyl, marine vinyl, something to that effect to sort of hold up if somebody gets caught out in the rain. But I think we're gonna do that at least on the front seats. I haven't figured out how to do the back seats quite yet, but I'm gonna leave that up to her because she is way smarter than me at all this. And when it comes to sewing and designing and all that, that's 100% her department. I do the designing of the cars. Ron's the brains behind the car builds, you know. That's kind of how this works. I do the mechanical for the most part. The frames, suspensions, setting things up, tuning engines, transmissions. That's my deal. And I design the cars. And I also take care of making sure that, you know, logistically we have what we need to keep going and we don't have to wait for anything. That's kind of what I'm doing. So, and Ron is doing the metalwork, bodywork, paint work. Honestly though, I might paint this thing, or at least we might paint it together. I've never painted a whole car. I primed a bunch of cars, the 40, my Model A, so on and so forth. But and I went to auto body school, so I know how to do it. I just haven't got a lot of experience with it. But I think I'm going to try and see where I get. Maybe paint parts first and see if I'm any good at this, and then go from there. But yeah, so what do you guys think of that? Brown's Rod and Customs. Kind of covers me and Ron. Andy too, really. If Andy wants to get into this down the road, or, you know, life changes, you know, then, you know, kind of covers everybody. But I don't know. It's just that name. As soon as I thought of what name do I want to change the name of this to, it turned out Brown's Rod and Custom. That was the first thing that came to mind. And so I think that's what we might do. But yeah, guys, boys and girls, I'm gonna tell you right now, that hood was orange earlier, which means I was orange. I was pumpkin orange, and so was this entire floor and everything in here. That tan paint that's on the fenders, there's a tan, a white, and a black on there, and it's not great. So that shit was everywhere. So we took us almost an hour to sweep all this up, but we got it. So when you do this, guys, you know, wear a mask, a real one, not a surgical, you know, I don't want COVID mask, but like an actual painter's mask, like that one right there, and you might live. So I can't even imagine if half the shit that got on the floor was in my lungs. Oh my God, I'd be dead in about a week. But we're getting there. Still got things to do. I'm gonna try to source some headlight buckets. Mine are pretty rough. They're the worst part of the fenders. See if Thing Parts has them, or somebody. And go down that road. But otherwise, guys, we're rocking. We're back on it. It's Wednesday. It's day 2. It's my day 1, but it's Ron's day 2 of getting back in here after the wedding. And we are starting to figure this out better and better as far as coming up with a plan and what we're going to do each day and how we're going to do it and what our goal is for the next day, and just trying to hit those goals. It kind of pushes you, just like it's a job, right? So let me know what you think about Brown's Rod and Custom, and or if you guys have any other ideas, let me know. I'd love to hear it. We're on a path here. Like I said before, we got this thing which should be done in a couple months, and then the next one up will be Dad's 40 Ford. That is honestly almost done. I think what we're gonna do there is we need to put a windshield in it. It had a windshield in it, but it cracked. Get a windshield put in it, and then get it painted. It's gonna go black. BMW Jet Black 2. And then from there, we have the wheels. We just gotta buy tires. So get the wheels and tires on it. And I believe we're going to take the manual transmission out of it, the 4-speed out, and put probably a turbo 350 in it, and a low car shifter, and get an interior put in it. And then that one's pretty much done. I mean, it runs, drives, stops, steers, does all the things you want it to do really well. So that's gonna happen. And then after that, we're going to the 65 Chevelle Malibu SS 2-door coupe. And we're gonna do a body off restoration on that. I'll have a whole build series on that. I've already started it a little bit just when we got the car and stuff, but it is a true SS, so that should be a fun one. And it's an AC, power steering, intermittent wipers, I believe it is, and console, bucket seat, console car, 283 power glide with a 10 bolt, I believe with a 333 gear. I think that's what it is. Yeah, it'll look just like this. Frame will be here, body will be here. And when all of this goes down, the money from some of these we're putting into rolling to the other cars, so that we're not sitting here trying to fund these things, and like we are this one, and try to knock them out. I think I can do the frame, and the frame of the Chevelle with the drivetrain completed, have it sitting here looking like this one, with the 283, which is over there, and the power glide in it with the drive shaft, exhaust, the whole works, done, ready to go. I think I can probably do that in 2 to 3 weeks once I get the body off. So, there are plans. So that's what we got going. And I will have another update for you tomorrow. A lot more work should be done. I'm going to get this fender for sure sanded down, and then down to bare metal, and then a lot more grinding. I'm going to try to get into this wheel well here and grind all this down and get it ready for body work. I'm going to go to the other side wheel well, get the nasty paint off of it, and just keep pushing to try to get this done. And between the two of us working, it's going really well. We're working great together, having a good time, and there is a light at the end of this tunnel for sure. Hell, we were just discussing how we're gonna get the cinder blocks out from the back and roll the frame under it at some point once it's painted, and how we were gonna set it down. And guys, I don't know if you've ever lifted up a Volkswagen, but I can lift this entire front up probably over my head, and the back is a little heavier, but no, I mean, it's nothing. If you stand in the middle and lift up, you could hold it for, you know, a long time. There's just not a lot of weight here. So that's what we got. That's what we're doing. We're slowly upgrading our shop and our tools and our projects and trying to do really good restorations on these cars and trying to not bring any new ones home so that our wives don't kill us. And yeah. But anyway, guys, I'll have an update for you tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and have a great night.